Changing out the ignition coil out of my '07 PT Cruiser. This is the brand new ignition coil, and this is the old ignition coil that I took out. Now, y'all see the difference? This is silver, and the brand new one is gold. Don't know how long this one been in there, probably since '07, but my car's misfiring, so I had to get me a brand new ignition coil. And then look, it's built different. This is the new one, and this is the stock one. This one is built different than the new one. So to put it back in is very simple. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do it with one hand, but I guess we'll try. So here we go. Carefully place the new so what you want to do, get one of your bulbs, you want to thread it in so that way it don't go nowhere. Alright, same with the other one. I need a GoPro. Make sure you thread it in. Now it's four 10mm bulbs. 2 in the front, 2 in the back. See it right here? Right here. Put it in and thread it. Kind of hard to thread this one in the back. So you thread it a little bit with your hands. You grab the last 10mm bolt. Hit. Thread it. And you got your 10mm socket and ratchet. this down. Alright. Tighten this down. Just bolting that down. Not too tight, just snug it up. Because I don't know the specific torque spec. So snug it up. 2 ones in the front. Now we're gonna torque down. 1 in the back. Now, step 1, when changing the ignition coil out your PT Cruiser, step 1 is to remove your air box. After you remove your air box, you unplug all the harnesses over there. You unplug all the lines up. You do not need to take off the throttle body cable. You do not need to take that cable off. There's 2 bolts that's going to be in the back. I mean, there's 1 bolt, 1 13mm, then 13 or 14. That's going to be behind here. That's going to be behind here. You're going to see it. Take that off all the way. After you take that off all the way, and then you unplug all of the hoses. This is the throttle cable. You don't need to remove that. You are going to need to remove. Oh, I forgot this step. Crap. You're also supposed to remove the harness for the manifold, which I forgot to do. Oops. But yeah, you're going to want to remove that. After you remove all of that, and then all the harness on this side, just unclip them. Then you're going to lift up the manifold. I'm using a bungee jump cord. You know, 2 of them to kind of hold it up and in place so I can have better access to my spark plugs and the ignition coil. Now, I wish I would have done this when I was changing my spark plugs, but I also decided to change my spark plugs, or attempt to change my spark plugs, in the rain, which was not a smart idea. Well, it wasn't raining. Rain was coming, and I was trying to hurry up and do it, but the rain beat me in the middle of the job. So I had to lock everything up and wait until the next day till it was, dry outside for me to finish the work up. So word of advice, when you're doing spark plug and ignition coil and spark plug wires, do it on a dry day, or do it under a tent like that, or a tent like that, something like that, so that water won't get in your your engine bay, or do it in a garage. All right, so after you take all of that off, and this manifold here, it's gonna have 8mm, 5 8mm bolts. That's gonna look like this. 5 8mm bolts. After you take those 5 8mm bolts off and all of the hoses are taken off, disconnected, and all the harnesses are disconnected, then you're going to lift it up and either use a jumper cable, bungee cord, which I'm doing, or whichever way you choose to, just to hold the manifold up so you can have better access to this. Okay, and then after doing that, you're going to carefully take the spark plug wires off. There's a metal thing inside here you do not want to break. So what I did, I used these. And I kind of put it right here at the edge, so it's not on the metal thing. It's right here on the rubber part. The metal part is right here, inside here. You do not want to put the vice grips or pliers or whatever you planning on using. You do not want to put it here. Put it up here and kind of squeeze it a little bit and kind of like twist it, like wiggle it like this and pull. So wiggle and pull at the same time and take all 4 out. Once you take all 4 out, then you're going to have your 4 10mm bolts that's connected to the ignition coil. But before you do that, you're going to want to take this out, and it's going to have a red clip on it that lock it. You're going to want to take a flathead screwdriver and stick it through here to push it, and then on the other end with the flathead screwdriver you're going to want to pull it all the way out. Once it comes all the way out, then you press on this tab right here. You press on this tab and then you pull it out. Once you pull it out, then you can start unbolting the 10mm bolts on the ignition coil. After you unbolt it, you take the old one off. It's really easy. Put the new one back on just like I showed you. You line it up and then you put one bolt in there and then you kind of thread it with your hands. You thread the bolt with your hands so that it can hold it into place. The best thing to do is to do it for both fronts. So put the bolt in here and then put the bolt in here and then hand tighten it so that it don't go nowhere. After you hand tighten it and it's finally aligned, then you go put the other 2 bolts in the back. So after you put the other 2 bolts in the back, then now you bolt it down. Not too tight to make it snug. A GoPro will make this a lot easier for me to film and do this. I think I'm gonna get one. Yeah, I'm gonna get a GoPro so I can film and then y'all can see, everything that I'm doing. Nice and snug. Like I said, not too tight. Always put your tools and stuff up here or on the floor. Don't lay it down here. You don't want it to fall in there. Then you put your wires back in. and you should hear a click. You should hear a click. Yeah, so you push it until you hear the click. Once you hear the click, then you know it's all the way locked in. And that's how you change your ignition coil on a 2007 PT Cruiser. You could also do it on a 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's basically, it should be all the same. You know what I'm saying? Alright. Oh. So I probably should have connected this. You connect that back, and you're gonna hear a click. I know I put it in my pocket. Anyway, you stick that red clip in there. After you stick the red clip in there, so after you get that red click back in there, which was a little pain in the butt to get in there, but once you get it back in there, then you good on that part. See? It's bolted down, the extra coil is good. And then basically after that, you just put your manifold back down, and then you connect back all your hoses, all your harnesses, everything that needs to be reconnected, you connect it back up. But before you do that, you're gonna wanna obviously put the manifold down and then bolt the manifold back up. Remember, when you're doing this job, put a cloth or something or a rag over the bottom half of the manifold, because you don't want nothing falling in there. If something falls in there and you start the engine up, that can mess up your engine. So after connecting back, after you bolt the manifold back up, which is the 8mm bolts, after you bolt those up, then you connect all your hoses, all your harnesses. You put your air box back together. I got a cold air intake, so you know it's not that hard for me to put that back in. After you put everything back in, what you want to do is disconnect the positive and the negative side of your battery. Well, if you have a scanner, then you stick your scanner in the OBD2 port first, and then you click erase code. And after the scanner tells you that it was sent, then you come and disconnect the positive and the negative battery. And you do that for about 15 minutes. After you do that for 15 minutes, then you can reconnect your battery, and that should reset the computer, reset the battery, make sure everything is how it's supposed to be under the hood. Start your car up and wait a few minutes and see what it does. And then you're going to want to drive it around. Just drive your car around and see what it does. If the code comes back or if it's still misfiring, then just get brand new spark plugs and brand new spark plug wires and change those, because this ignition coil is brand new and there's a lifetime warranty on this. So this ignition coil is brand new. These spark plug wires are brand new. I just installed them. The spark plugs itself is brand new. I just installed them not too long ago. Yeah, so that's how you change the ignition coil. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you learned something.